AITA for telling my childhood friend he's heading for 400 pounds? My friend James and I, both 42 meters, have known each other since 3rd grade. He's always been a bigger guy. I've always been a bit leaner until recent. In our late 30s I put on about 40 pounds to now be around 270. James put on weight as well and is in the 325 range. We're both taller guys but still too heavy for either of us. Over the years, we've both tried dieting in different forms as both of our wives are supportive and would like to join us and lose weight as well. After watching a few "Where Does Your Meat Come From" type documentaries. Not preaching, I promise. My wife and I decided to try switching to a plant-based diet. We're not vegan. We still eat cheese sparingly and skim milk on occasion, but neither of us have eaten any meat whatsoever in 8 weeks. I'm down 31 pounds. My wife is down almost 24 pounds. So I see my buddy about a month ago, when I was down 10-15, and he says I look great and what am I doing differently? I tell him we're trying a plant-based diet, and before I could get too deep into any explanation, he kind of cuts me short, laughs, says this is all BS, and don't start bragging around his wife as he'll never give up meat. Okay, terrific. I wasn't planning to, and also you asked me. I didn't even bring it up right now, but we leave it there. Last night we were all at another friend's house for dinner and drinks, and our host mentions my wife and I look terrific. And my wife brings up what we're doing, despite it being received positively by everyone else with well wishes. My buddy gets all pissed off and starts openly announcing eating meat is a vital necessity to every diet. Starts calling me a soy boy. Lol. And looks at his wife and says, don't even consider it. It's never happening. He tells everyone the only reason we're losing weight is because we're clearly starving ourselves. And anyone could get the same results on any diet, doing the same. To which my reply was, we've tried other diets without results. You know this. Maybe if you pulled your head out of your A for a minute you'd see I'm not trying to recruit you for anything. And your facts are wrong. There are entire regions of the world that don't eat meat, dairy, and all much healthier than Americans as a whole. But by all means, keep on the heavy carb, red meat diet, and let us all know when you hit 400. This was a frustrating event because I don't initiate this conversation with anyone for a fear of exactly this happening. Eating meat or not eating meat triggers something in people, regardless. My friend went to the bathroom and a couple minutes later excused himself. And he and his wife left. The dinner was fine after. The other couples all felt like he attacked us unprovoked, but he's a longtime friend. I'm 100% confident our friendship will survive this. But I still need to know if I apologize for my half of the incident. Regardless of what was said in his half. Was I the off for how I handled it? I'm a guy who lost 100 pounds. And I can tell you that I got a wide range of responses. In general, people told me how great I looked and were incredibly positive. The only people who weren't were other overweight friends of mine, who never lost an opportunity to make a negative comment. Usually it was along the lines of, you'll gain it all back, or something like that. At a certain point, I realized that weight loss takes a lot of effort and discipline and real lifestyle changes. And that people who are looking for an easy fix are not going to get the results they want. Mixing in a salad once a week is not going to cut it. It requires many hours of exercise and a completely different relationship with food. The people who were making negative comments had all tried to lose weight in the past and failed. And just weren't convinced that it was possible for them. NTA, but this all seems so misdirected to me. You're losing weight most likely because removing meat from your diet most likely has caused you to end up eating overall healthier and lower calorie food. Your friend is right that any diet could achieve the same results. And you are right that any diet could fail. You found one that works for you and your wife, and that's great. It wouldn't necessarily work for others. So it seems to me like both your friend initially and then you in your response made this about meat when it isn't. It's about healthier life choices, which can include meat or not include meat. NTA. When I went plant-based, I lost an entire Backstreet Boy. I am not vegetarian. I do eat poultry at times, but no red meat and limited dairy. I do not go to the gym, but I do walk and hike with my dogs every day. The best part has been how easy it has been to keep it off, whereas with other weight loss attempts, I eventually regained. I firmly believe it's the sugar. Eating primarily plant-based eliminated processed and sugary foods right off the bat, and I'll be honest, the first month was rough. Sugar addiction is real, but once you get over the hump and realize how good you can feel, you don't know what you don't know. It becomes second nature. Esh, you both said some pretty awful things. That said, I feel like you may be being preachy and don't realize it. You keep describing it like you're going off on some windy descriptions, before I could get too deep. You're eating a plant-based diet. It isn't that deep. If someone asks what you're doing, it should literally be a 13-sentence description. I'm doing a plant-based diet and exercising, etc. Then, if someone asks for details about plant-based diets, you give it. But don't give a lengthy description unprompted, because then it can seem preachy. Especially if it is to someone who is struggling with weight. I am neither vegan nor vegetarian nor whole food plant-based. Although I am heading in that direction. Anyway, it's just a fact that people have a completely over-the-top reaction when they hear that someone else is a vegan or a vegetarian. And they often seem to take it as a criticism directed at them when other people mention that they have become vegan or vegetarian or WFPB. I really don't get this. But that's how it looks to me. I would say that he escalated this for no reason and you responded in kind. I think you can say that you are sorry you didn't handle the conversation better. And leave it at that. NTA. I've been veg over 12 years and I still don't know why some people react that way. So yeah, what you said was pretty harsh. But emo justified. Another commenter called you the because saying someone is fat and getting fatter is never okay. But I don't agree. I think it's seldom okay. But in this instance, first of all, it's true. A necessary but not sufficient condition for you to be justified. Secondly, he was clownishly spouting falsehoods about how plant-based diets don't work, while sitting right in front of living proof to the contrary. Provocative, but not yet to the point of justification for what you said. Thirdly, he directly insulted you. Soy boy equals unmanly. Now, we could have a whole separate discussion of whether manly, as he defines it, is something you should aspire to be. But the point here is, his intent was to insult you. So no, I don't have a problem with you speaking harshly to someone who was acting like a rude, insulting clown. NTA. P.S. You want to know if you should apologize. But that's actually a completely different question from whether you were the AH. Sometimes a friend might offer a limited apology for the sake of the friendship, even in a situation where they had been totally in the right. Not one where you disavow your true and correct statements, but one where you say, "Sorry, I was so harsh on you. Totally your call if you want to do this." NTA. And if it were anything other than vegetarianism, everyone would agree. NTA. He's the one who started the argument. Good on you for not subjecting your wife and the other party goers to that abuse. NTA. And I don't get the votes. Your friend really wanted to engage you on this subject and you really did not. It does not sound like you wanted to discuss it with him at all. much less hurt his feelings. Him being a big man who is sensitive about his weight does not give him a free pass to denigrate vegetarians. NTA here. People really need to learn as children, if you can't handle the heat, don't step onto the kitchen. He was antagonistic, rude, and mocked you because he was insecure. Only insecure men with toxic masculinity worry about being a soy boy, or whatever dumb stuff conservatives make up. Perhaps consider a few-day cool-off, and send a text or call saying, "Hey, this whole thing has blown out of proportion. I reacted strongly because from the get-go you attacked me and my choices. Perhaps we can both agree that whatever diet we choose the other will respect. And let's move past this." Quote. NTA. He seems to have a strange hostility about this topic, and neither time were you preaching or recruiting when he went into his antagonistic tirade. People are strangely triggered by meat and non-meat diets. I do not get it. He was going too far in criticizing and making fun of your choices, and deserved to be put in his place a bit. Nothing you said was very harsh. NTA, your friend was way out of line! Exclamation mark. NTA, your friend is jealous. Bottom line. Deep inside himself he knows what it would take. Change. People are afraid of change. Obesity is not only eating habits. For some it's buried with psychological issues. It's masking other issue for him. And I think it's important that you finally said something, because it's what was needed for him to stop, and maybe he will actually hear what you said. NTA. His passive aggression turned to straight insults, all because he's jealous of your progress and the praise you're receiving. He'll get over it once he realizes you were right. NTA. I mean, maybe a little, because you sort of responded in kind to him being an asshole rather than being the bigger person. But like you said, you were just answering questions honestly. He was completely unjustified attacking you, and as you said, what he's saying is factually wrong. My 43-year-old son weighed close to 400 pounds. He was 6 feet 5. He had a blood clot after a routine surgery. His weight put too much strain on his recovery. He died October 6th. Take care of your health now. NTA. Your friend seems beyond jealous. That is his problem, not yours. I'm so happy for your health. My husband gave up meat about 2 years ago, and while he has lost weight, it's his lab numbers that really make him happy. We get our blood drawn for insurance every year, and his labs were never considered bad. They are still much better than they were. NTA. I've been vegan for a decade and have learned that some people have an idea that they could never give up meat that is based on cultural norms, and feel as though others abstaining from animal products is a direct attack on their own lifestyle. He's seeing that yes, he probably could give up meat if he wanted, and that it might have positive health benefits. And that makes him really uncomfortable. That's not your fault. And he has to come to terms that his dietary choices are his own and are potentially contributing to his weight and health. I don't know how he eats, but the science is clear on the benefits of eating plant-based. You keep doing you, and don't be discouraged in answering questions about what's working for you. Other people will be inspired and supportive, and you've found a sustainable way to achieve your own health goals. Honestly, I'm torn here. You shouldn't have said what you said, and it was awful. But it was also bad he shamed you for enjoying your new diet. He could have stayed in, "I don't like it, I won't do it" territory, and they would be fine. But saying what he said about you just because you like tofu now? Guess I'll go with Esh.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.